Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool encouraged to rival Arsenal for Sandro Tonali transfer, with fee suggested. Second news is Liverpool forced into late Premier League fixture change after European failure. Third news is inside Liverpool transfer deadline day plans as 5 deals done and 1 nears. Now details. Former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant has encouraged his old side to rival Arsenal for Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali. The Italian has been linked with a deadline day move to the Emirates Stadium. Reports emerged on Monday morning, suggesting the Gunners were weighing up an approach for the Italian midfielder. Sky Germany claimed discussions had taken place regarding a potential transfer to Arsenal ahead of Monday's 7 p.m. deadline. The reported interest follows an injury to Spain international Mikel Merino, who requires foot surgery. However, prizing away one of Newcastle's key assets always appeared unlikely, and the Magpies have swiftly dismissed any notion of the 25-year-old's departure, branding the speculation complete rubbish. Tonali pennied an initial 5-year contract after his £55 switch from AC Milan in July 2023, though he subsequently received a 10-month suspension from the Italian Football Federation, FIGC, in October that year for violating betting regulations. Tonali agreed a contract extension while serving his betting ban, meaning his current deal runs until 2029, with Newcastle holding an option for a further 12-month extension through to 2030. However, speaking on behalf of BetSelect UK, Pennant, who made over 50 appearances for the Reds, has suggested that his old team Liverpool should look at potentially signing Tonali in 2026. An £80 million bid is what he believes is what it would take to lure Newcastle to the table, he exclusively told The Echo. Newcastle are absolutely in no rush to sell. If they want him, Newcastle are going to charge over the odds. You're looking at £80 million minimum to try and get him, and I don't think that's what you pay for a stopgap. You don't pay those kind of fees for someone just to fill in because someone's injured. If you want him that bad, then he's worth that because he's a fantastic player. You can see what he's done for Newcastle. I would like Liverpool maybe to go in for him, play him as that number 6er anyway. It will be a nice little addition. But yeah, I don't think Arsenal or Newcastle will be doing business with Tonali. Newcastle head coach Eddie Howe confirmed on Saturday evening, in the wake of the 4-1 loss to Liverpool at Anfield, that the only player who might depart the club before tonight's deadline was Jamal Lascelles. The 48-year-old said, "The only one who could possibly leave is Jamal Lascelles," and when asked if there will be any new incomings, the Newcastle boss replied, "No, Liverpool's only business on deadline day looks set to be the signing of 20-year-old Rennes centre-back Jeremy Jacquet ahead of a summer transfer. A £60 deal has been agreed with confirmation potentially set to come in the coming hours before the Frenchman arrives in the summer." Second news is Liverpool forced into late Premier League fixture change after European failure. Liverpool supporters have been forced to amend their plans after the Premier League trip to Nottingham Forest was rearranged less than 3 weeks before it was due to be played. The Reds were scheduled to take on Forest at the City Ground on Saturday, February 21, with a regular 3 p.m. kickoff. But the fixture has now been pushed back to Sunday, February 22, with a 2 p.m. kickoff, and will be shown live on Sky Sports. The reason for the change was Forest's failure to qualify directly to the last 16 of the Europa League, having finished outside of the top 8 in 13th place. It means Sean Dyche's side will have to negotiate a 2-legged playoff tie against Fenerbahce of Turkey, with the first game taking place on Thursday. February 19. Liverpool fans have been left in a certain sense of limbo over the next 2 months, due to the European commitments of Arne Slot's side and their forthcoming opponents. The home game against Tottenham Hotspur is due to take place on Sunday, March 15 at 4:3 p.m. on Sky Sports, but could move to the Saturday, depending on which day the Reds and Tottenham are scheduled to play their Champions League round of 16 game, the 2 legs of which take place in the midweeks either side of the clash against the Londoners. Third news is inside Liverpool transfer deadline day plans as 5 deals done and 1 nears. It's nearly all over. Having negotiated our way through January and 9 Liverpool games during that busy month, the mid-season transfer window will close at 7 p.m. this evening. As is increasingly becoming the way, there hasn't been a lot of major movement from Premier League clubs during the last 4 weeks, with perhaps the notable exception of Manchester City, who brought in Antoine Semenyo and former Liverpool target Mark Guehi, while allowing Oscar Bobb to join Fulham. Having splashed out almost £450 million on new signings, and seen close to £225 worth of talent depart during the summer, there was no expectation the Reds would be particularly busy in this window, but there could be scope for some business today, on the way out. With Slot starting on Saturday, he was more concerned about strengthening his squad than weakening it after a number of injury setbacks, it seems highly unlikely any senior players will leave Liverpool today. Inter had inquired about taking Curtis Jones on loan, with a view to a permanent move, only for Liverpool to dismiss the approach. And having held preliminary talks with Tottenham Hotspur over the signing of Andy Robertson, who is out of contract in the summer, the Reds ultimately ended discussions given insufficient cover at left-back. Juventus were considering a loan offer for Federico Chiesa, but Liverpool remain wary of leaving themselves short of attacking options, with the Italian having made 24 appearances this season. And the return of Mohamed Salah to the fold after the Africa Cup of Nations has ended any speculation of a departure this month. Liverpool confirmed one exit early in the window, with 22-year-old left-back James Norris making a permanent move to Shelbourne, having spent most of 2025 on loan at the League of Ireland side. Fabian Mrozek, the 22-year-old Polish goalkeeper, is joining Major League Soccer side FC Cincinnati on loan with a view to a permanent move, while fellow academy goalkeeper Harvey Davies has been brought back from a spell at League Two side Crawley Town and will only leave should a suitable loan opportunity arise today. Lewis Coomers was recalled from his loan spell at Championship side Birmingham City and is now at Hull City, for whom he scored the winner at Blackburn Rovers at the weekend with his first involvement from the bench, while left-back Luke Chambers is spending the rest of the season at Championship side Charlton Athletic. Callum Scanlon has gone to League One leaders Cardiff City on loan. It is unlikely 19-year-old academy wingers Trent Cone-Doherty and Kieran Morrison will leave on a temporary basis, with the concentration instead on negotiating new contracts for the duo, anyone coming in. Injuries to a number of defenders have forced Liverpool to explore a move ahead of the deadline, although the possibility of taking over Holland international right-back Luchtschil Geertruida's season-long loan at Sunderland from RB Leipzig has receded. However, the Reds have opted to make a move for 20-year-old Rennes centre-back Jeremy Jacquet amid interest from Manchester United and Chelsea, although the deal will be for the summer. Talks have taken place between the clubs with a fee of £55 million, with £5 in add-ons having been agreed. Otherwise, though, the Reds have concentrated on bolstering their academy ranks, with 18-year-old Senegal defender Mortala Ndiaye brought in from homeland club Amity FC. Liverpool have also agreed a deal in principle to sign 17-year-old centre-back Ifeani Ndukwi from Austria Vienna for the U21 squad in the summer. Liverpool had been monitoring the situation of Antoine Semenyo until it became clear the Bournemouth winger wanted a £65 move to Manchester City, with the Moneybags Etihad outfit also taking Reds target Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace for an initial £20 despite the player being out of contract in the summer. Harvey Elliott is unlikely to return from his loan spell at Aston Villa, with the Midlanders needing to initiate contact with Liverpool to begin the process and Slot having refused to be drawn on such speculation. Elliott has recently started to appear for Villa, having not played since October, with Unai Emery having been reluctant to give the player appearances, so not to trigger a £35 million permanent deal. James Balagizi and Owen Beck were recalled from loan spells at Forest Green Rovers and Derby County, respectively, while James McConnell returned from Ajax and has subsequently undergone an operation on a shoulder injury that could rule him out until the end of this month, and therefore curtail suggestions of another temporary move.